Okay, so the new Toyota Tacoma is just weird. It has a lot of weird things about it. Things that I've noticed since I've had actually my 2024 on up to the 2025, and I'm sure still the same on the 2026s. Let's jump in. First of all, if you didn't know, your Toyota Tacoma has door drains. Door drains? Yeah, if you've noticed any sloshing of water when you open the door, it's because water has leaked down inside. And you've got these drains that go across the bottom of the door, right? You pull these out and water could come pouring out of your door. And it's got them all around. They're also on the back sides. Let's get it unlocked. Same thing. You've got drains down here. It looks like 3 on each door, right? They just pull out, and if there's any water inside, it'll drain out of the doors. Very, very strange to me. Next up, the disappearing screens. Now, this depends, I think, on whether or not you have a 2024 or 2025 and up. I've had 2 2024s, and I noticed this on both, and it may be specific to just the tire pressure monitoring screen. Whenever I would get that thing up on the main cluster there, the gauge cluster, it would disappear. It would be gone the next time I started the truck. Very odd. Now, it does seem that on the 2025s, Toyota fixed that problem, and I have heard that they're aware that it's an issue, but they don't have any kind of a flash or a fix for it. Very odd to me. Just another weird thing about the Toyota Tacoma. Next up, the electric tailgate issue. You know, it was a neat idea, right? Toyota came out with this electronic tailgate where you could push a button here on the side. Obviously, I don't have it. And the tailgate would just open, hopefully. I do love the dampers on the tailgate, by the way. There are a couple of trim levels, or at least one, the SR, that doesn't have that. But anyway, I've heard many reports of people pushing the buttons, various buttons in the truck, and it doesn't work. But there are other buttons you can push, like maybe your key fob or the button that's inside, or maybe even the one that's on the bottom here, I think, on some of the electronic ones, or the one on the side, where for no reason, sometimes it'll work and sometimes it won't. I don't know if it's just a flaw in the system. I've heard that it needs to be adjusted, probably the case, but I've also heard other instances where people haven't found any kind of resolution for it at all. Just weird. Next up, and I have this problem, and it depends on what trim level you have, but the strangely lowering seat. It's almost like somebody comes out here messing with you and kind of pumps it down a few times after you get out. Of course, that's not the reason. It's because the lever is too far up, and when you slide in or slide out, your rear end depresses the button and it lowers the seat a notch. Took me a while to figure out what was going on. I thought maybe there was something wrong with the mechanism in the seat, and that when I sat on it, put weight on it, somehow it gave, if you will, and lowered the seat by itself. But that's not the problem. It's just this weird way they have it designed. And I say weird because they really have the lever too far up on the edge of the seat, the hard part here, so that when your rear end slides against it, it can drape over, strange, and push this lever down. Something that Toyota needs to address, and it's pretty simple. They could just lower that lever a little bit. Number 5, the remote start. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it seems like you press and hold on the third, or you go past the third press on the key fob, hold it on the fourth, and it will start. A lot of times it just doesn't work at all. It seems very odd to me that in this day and age, Toyota hasn't perfected a remote start that is reliable. And I'm talking about using the key fob, not the app. The app, well, that's a whole nother problem. I think it's probably one of Toyota's biggest fails. You know, when the app is up, which is debatable, there's still issues with it, and it seems to go down frequently. Like Toyota is still trying to perfect it or I don't know, add fixes for things that don't work. But of course, when they do that, they take it down for everybody. And it couldn't be a worse time of year for it either, because a lot of people use that remote start from the app to warm up their truck in the winter. And of course, if you're not in deep South Texas, it is winter and you're probably just trying to stay warm. Next up, and I believe this is number 6, we've got the gas gauge distance to empty weirdness. Now, what this is the gas gauge will show you only have so many miles left, right? But that's not really true, because for some reason Toyota decided they needed to babysit us and leave about 3 gallons out of the equation. And what I mean by that is you've got about 3 gallons more to burn, or 3 gallons more distance that you can travel, even when the truck says that you're at 0. And I wonder, for those that have pushed it to the edge, does it start going negative? I mean, if it hits 0 and you're still driving for 20, 30, 40, 50 miles, whatever it is, does it show negative 50? Very strange. I don't know why they decided that they needed to babysit us and not give us an actual true distance to empty in the gas gauge. I mean, come on. We're old enough, big enough, mature enough to be able to account for that ourselves, right? They really didn't need another nanny feature in the truck. Lastly, this rear seat treatment. First of all, this strap. I don't know why they didn't set it like a lot of other manufacturers do, where the seat stays up by itself. And yeah, you notice mine is right now because the truck is parked at an angle. When I'm level or even pointing down at the front end, the seat just drops. Now, it might be a minor thing, right? But if you've got the seat up because you want to grab a couple handfuls of whatever you have under there, maybe you picked up groceries and you threw them under there, or bought something at a store to hide it and you've got a couple bags under there, it's very frustrating when you're reaching under there and the damn seat falls on top of you every time you're trying to do anything. Particularly if you spill the contents of that bag or two and now you're trying to put it all back in. You know this is the stuff that happens, right? So what did they do? They gave us this cheapo strap with a button on it. And that button is supposed to marry into this, right? That's what holds the seat up. Well, I'm here to tell you, first of all, enough tugs on this area and you're going to rip this thing. There's no doubt in my mind. And secondly, it doesn't fit in there very well. You really got to give it a good push to put it in. And, you know, everybody's in a hurry. And if you're standing out in the freezing cold or rain or snow or whatever, and you're trying to get that damn seat buttoned up, it can be very frustrating. Now, you may notice I did add a little clip here, and the point of that is when you put the seat up, to be able to clip it here on the door bracket, I guess, so that you can hold the seat up and it won't fall down. Obviously, you need to take that off before you shut the door. I've had people, when I first showed this, comment about, oh, it'll damage your door and all this BS. Well, come on, man. You take it off before you shut the door. Anyway, those are just a few weird things about the new Toyota Tacoma. Things that Toyota really could pretty easily address, I think, so that we don't have to deal with these annoying little issues. Leave a comment. Let me know if you agree. Don't forget, smash that subscribe button if you haven't before. And we'll see you next time on the web. Bye.